Today we're going to talk about the Garden of God. Learning to manifest in 1 second. That's right. You heard it. We're going to teach you how to manifest in 1 second. So there we go. Welcome to Meta 5 Manifestation. My name is Franklin, and this is the Meta 5 Manifestation. Hey, you want to change your life? I'll teach you how right now. Head on over to Meta 5 Manifestation.com. All right, check the link and descriptions below for more goodies. Okay, well, let's kind of talk about this here. We're going to talk about this idea of the Garden of God propagated by great thinkers like Neville Goddard. But he clothes this, wraps this, sort of dresses this up in his narrative, sort of biblical structure. But I'm going to break it down for you and really have you understand a step-by-step process for sort of filtering out all of the sort of floweriness around the language around this concept of Garden of God. You know, I want you to have a hands-on, sort of user-friendly manual to manifest in 1 second. And this thing about 1 second is going to be sort of implanted in here. So follow me until the end because I'm going to tell you everything that you need to know to sort of stay on track. Okay, the Garden of God. What does that mean? Well, it's talking about spiritual Eden. Okay, so follow me on this metaphor here, and parable, if you will. Right, the Garden of God is actually the mind of man. That's right. It's such a cool concept because it's time to tend your garden, okay? And it's time to pull the weeds and plant in the garden of manifestation, okay? And here's how you're going to do it. This is really about energy in, energy out. When you really think about this, everything that I always talk about, your garden is your mind, okay? And you're going to plant the thoughts, the feelings in that garden so that it will manifest outwardly, okay? So it's time to tend your garden, pull the weeds and plant. You will be planting righteous thoughts, okay? This is what you're going to plant in your garden. And when you hear the word righteousness, it literally means right consciousness. And Neville Goddard said this phrase, and when I heard it, I will never forget it, and I'm going to repeat it for you right now, okay? He said, "The Bible is the greatest collection of psychological truths and was never intended to be seen as a history or a cosmology." That is absolutely mind-blowing and revelatory stuff, okay? If you believe the Bible is the Bible that we all grew up with, that's fine. I'm not sort of disputing or laying any sort of claims against anyone's, true contextual beliefs of what the Bible is, but take the time to step back and think about what I'm about to say in terms of this new belief, right? There's another famous saying that I know and hold true is that two things can be true at the same time, okay? So while you can hold any belief you want, right, you can also choose to accept or reject any new belief, right? And it's the height of sort of scholarship and open-mindedness to look at facts dispassionately and say yeah or no, okay? So follow me with this. And again, I'm going to repeat that phrase. The Bible is the greatest collection of psychological truths and was never intended to be seen as history or cosmology. And so everything that I'm about to say right now in this piece right here has this context, okay? So you have dominion over your garden. And I just got through saying, what is the garden of God? Repeat it back to me, right? The garden of God is the mind. It's the mind of man, okay? So that garden of God is what you are going to be planting. And you have dominion over your garden. And plant only the good things, the lovely things, the positive things, the things that you want to plant. Just as if you're planting a physical garden, you only want the things to grow that you're planting, right? You don't want others to come in there and plant stuff for you, or you don't want weeds growing, killing your plants. You just want your nice, beautiful garden. And you picture in your head this lovely, wonderful garden, right? And imagine this place that you can sit or read or enjoy your family, have nice conversations in. That's the physical garden that you're dreaming about. Well, your spiritual garden is your world around you, okay? This is what's made manifest through this garden of God, right? And instead of visualizing literal plants, physical plants, you're going to be planting your future. You're going to be planting all the things that you want to see, all the things that you desire, okay? And let me remind you, you have dominion over your garden, okay? And you plant things, okay, by becoming those things, okay? Not by observing them, okay? And you become those things by being the person you want to be, which attaches you to an invisible state, okay? And that invisible state is made manifest by your continual inhabitation of that state and adoption of the identity of it. You are the one living in your garden. So plant and call it into existence, or call into existence those things you desire and give them names of reality. Okay? And when I say give them names of reality, it's like the creation of the first 7 days, including the garden, where things were created and given names, right? You're going to name the things you want. You're going to name health, you're going to name wealth, you're going to name relationships, you're going to name conditions in your mind, in your garden, that are going to actually bear fruits in your reality. And the state with which you identify yourself is the state which will objectify itself into your world, and you will see it. Yeah, that is a beautiful, beautiful thing. So I'm going to give you another quote, which also comes from Neville Goddard. Okay, he says, now, don't wait 1 second beyond the time that you observe weeds instead of flowers. Start right at the moment of observation and start to replant the garden. And this is your 1 second rule, how to manifest in 1 second, because it's so, so imperative that when you see weeds in your garden, you see those negative thoughts, or you see contradictory feelings, right? Don't wait. Don't let that go. Grab that weed and chuck it and pull it and plant something else right there. Catch yourself. And this is how you're going to make manifestation happen in seconds, right? Because you're not delaying. You walk by your garden, you're like, oh, what is that thing growing out of my daffodils, right? You're going to walk over there and just yank it out right there, okay? So in your spiritual garden, when you see those things, those invasive thoughts, get them out. Start right at the moment of observation, he says, and start to replant the garden. Simple. Well, how do you do it? I'm going to tell you right now. In planting a physical garden, you plant physically. In planting the garden of God, I'm going to ask you again, what is the garden of God? Answer, it's the mind of man. Okay, well, in planting the garden of God, you do it spiritually by becoming the thing desired. Okay, I'll say that again. By becoming the thing desired. That's how you plant in a spiritual garden. So, if it's love, be in love. If it's security, become conscious of already being secure. If it's wealth, become conscious of already being wealthy, etc. That's how you become the thing desired. And that when you become the thing desired, that's how you are planting. Okay? You're not thinking of those things out there. You're not thinking of that thing in your metaphoric mind. You're becoming it. That's the planting process, is becoming it. That's when you do that. Now, assume the mood, assume the state, the identity, whatever you want to call it, of already being the person you want to be. Put on those spiritual garments. And physically, maybe you can sort of make like you are actually putting on something. It'll help you feel better. And I teach you how to do that in my course over at Manifestation.com, because we teach you the mind and body connection. So feel it and call it good, just as God did in creation. You're going to call those things good as you create them, as you become them. Feel good, call them good. And it won't take long for you to see shoots appear, okay, in your garden, and dwell upon the state, and those shoots will grow larger and populate your garden. Your world will objectify your desired state, okay? And don't wait a single second. As you see weeds, pull them immediately. 1 second, you're going to manifest, okay? When observing your reactions, okay, to the world, life, whatever. Pull the weeds and replant them with what you desire, which is shifting your state, right? How do you plant? How do you plant? By becoming. What is the garden of God? Your mind. It is the mind of man, okay? How do you plant? You become the state, okay? Those two questions, those answers, those two things that I just taught you is exactly what you need, okay? So pull the weeds and replant them with what you desire. And do it this way, okay? Here's the final way to do it that'll kind of wrap everything up. How do you know what to feel? How do you know what state to be in? Here's the last and final piece of this sort of almost three-piece thing. Garden of God, right? How do you plant? You become, okay? Finally, how do you know what feeling to assume? Well, this is very, 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 very simple. Ask yourself, and the feeling will be given to you, okay? It's not for me to give you. It's not for anybody else to give you. You simply ask yourself, and this is because you are the gardener, because you have control, you have authority, you have dominion over this. So ask yourself this question: what would the feeling be like if I were already embodied with that noble state, with that end state? What would the feeling be like if it were true that you had whatever you wanted, right? Focus on what you want. Like, I want to be debt free. I want to be in love. I want to just have perfect health and cardio. I kind of want to land that promotion, right? Well, ask yourself, how would it feel if I were already the person who has that? If I had it right now, how would I feel? And you will be given that feeling instantly. That's the feeling. Take that feeling. Go with that feeling. That's what you're planting. Become that feeling. Assume that feeling, right? Own that feeling. Put it on as a garment. Wear it. Embody it. Make it your identity. Take that and keep that. That's what you just planted, okay? So in response, again, to asking, will come a feeling. Assume that feeling. That's you planting in your garden. And once planted, it cannot be stopped if you continue to wear that identity throughout the day. Put it on as much as you need to and wear it until it becomes comfortable. This is the other part, right? Wear it until it becomes comfortable and it's true to you, and it will be true to you, okay? That's all I got. That's for you. Right there is a secret laid out in bare, okay? So again, this kind of coincides with our energy out, energy in, energy out principle, that you are in your simulation and you are in control. So control it with confidence, because everything you need is already ready in front of you. So ask and follow your intuition. Okay, well, take care. Thank you for listening. Really, really appreciate you guys. Head on over to meta5manifestation.com. Also meta5manifestation.com/free class for my free masterclass, and learn everything that I'm going to teach you here that's going to change your life. And it's free, and you can take it and listen to it and really, really sort of dive in there if you want more juice, because I will deliver the juice over there. And, get in touch and let me know what you're thinking. Leave a comment down below and keep watching. Love you. Take care. All right. See you in the next one.